gang, it's your buddy Platt, and today I show you how to make mudslide ice cream. So let's go. Alright gang, got a fun little video today. The other day I was doing some cleaning, something I do about once or twice a year around the house, and I found this, an old ice cream maker I purchased a couple of years ago, and I'm like, what in the world was I going to do with that? And then I remembered, I have a video series. I haven't done any new videos in it for a while, but a video series about drunken shakes and real beer floats, where I made either milkshakes with some kind of alcohol in it, or I made instead of a root beer float, a real beer float, and really made, thought I made some cool stuff. And at the time I remember thinking, hey, I need to get into making alcohol infused ice cream. Thus I purchased this thing and totally forgot about it. But I found it the other day and I thought, what the heck, let's break it out. Let's have a little bit of fun. I'm going to let you know up front, I'll probably do a few of these videos and it's going to be more fun. Feel free to change, ingredients, play around with it. This video series is for fun. Like brewing beer, you have, certain things you have to be kind of precise on, but that's not this video series. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to start off today by making some ice cream based on the classic cocktail Mudslide. For those of you that might not know what a Mudslide is, basically it's vodka, coffee liqueur, Irish cream, and either half and half or milk. It could be either way. If you want to kind of take it up a notch, if you want to really do it up, you could drizzle some chocolate on the inside of the glass or rim the glass with chocolate or something like that. I'm going to turn it up a notch by using a chocolate vodka actually in this deal. So like I said, we're going to have a little bit of fun real quick before we start, because I am going to do several of these videos. I want to talk about this ice cream maker specifically. There's tons of ice cream makers. If you've already got one at home, this part is not for you. This particular one I bought is called My Pint from Dash. It's a pretty simple unit. There's a motor that sits on top. There's a little base. Then they have this cup that you will freeze overnight before you use it. I've got mine in the freezer right now. That basically helps freeze the liquid, turn it into ice cream. There's a little paddle, what have you. This says My Pint, but I believe it only lets you put in a cup of liquid at the time, and you're closer to a cup serving size instead of a pint serving size. They do have various sizes of these, and again, if you already own ice cream maker, whatever ice cream maker of your choice, feel free. I will leave a link down below though if you want one of these, because kind of what I'm making is more of a smaller serving size. If you want to make a gallon of Mudslide ice cream, feel free. I always encourage that, but for practicalities, probably something like this is a little better. Well, with that being said, let's get to making some Mudslide ice cream. Alright gang, our first step is we're going to make our ice cream base. Now I want to state this up front. I realize everybody else has different dietary restrictions, what have you, and in the book that they give you in the ice cream maker, again, your ice cream maker may vary, but they also have recipes for sorbets and yogurts. So you can find online different recipes, again, depending on what kind of machine you have, or if you want to do it old school, what have you. I am going to go with just a straight kind of classic, regular, full milk, old school ice cream recipe. What you produce out of the machine is going to be soft serve. You're not going to get rock hard unless you leave it in the freezer afterwards or whatever. But you're going to produce basically soft serve. So, but I wanted to state that again, if you want to switch out, if you want to do a keto ice cream or whatever, feel free. I'm just kind of going old school just for simplicity's sake. So real quick, so we're going to make our base mix. This is the recipe they gave me in the book, and again, it's kind of a standard. We're going to end up making more base than what can go in there. Just realize that this will end up making like a total of 3 batches out of it. Okay, so we're going to need 3 things real quick. We're going to need heavy whipping cream, regular milk, and then sugar. First, we're going to add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Then we're going to add 1 cup of regular milk. All right. Then lastly, we're going to add our 3/4 cup. I screwed up, it's 3/4 cup of sugar. And then we're just going to mix this all in. You might hear that right there. You can hear the kind of the granularity of the sugar. However, we want to make sure this all gets mixed in. We want a creamy ice cream. We don't want it, kind of chunky or a little grainy. So I'm going to give this a good stir for 2 or 3 minutes. And then after that, I'm going to sit in the fridge. They advise you to refrigerate anywhere between 1 and 3 hours before. You want to make sure your mix is nice and cold before you start the ice cream process. So let me get this blended. We'll throw it in the fridge, and then we'll come back to start making our ice cream. All right, gang, time to make our ice cream. I've got our freezer cup that's been freezing sitting here. I've got the motor set up. I've got 1 cup of our ice cream mix. Again, adjust everything to your size, however. We're going to go ahead and put that in here. And then we're going to go ahead and on this machine, you'll go ahead and turn in the motor, see churning, and we'll go ahead and put her in, and there's a little notch. Yep. Now, we are going to go ahead and let this, they say it could take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes for you to get your frozen ice cream. We're going to let this go for 5 or 10 minutes before we add the alcohol. Alcohol doesn't like to freeze. It's a lot harder to freeze than regular water. So we're going to let this ice cream get thick before we add our liquor. So we're going to let this go for about 10 minutes. We'll come back to check on it and then add our spirits. Alright gang, just want to show you the ice cream's thickening up a little bit. We're getting a little thicker. So I'm going to go ahead and put in our alcohol. Alright gang, time to add our alcohol. On this, I'm kind of looking at this as like one just really big cocktail. A standard mudslide would be anywhere from a ½ ounce of each one of the 3 to a full ounce of the 3. We're going to do 3/4 ounce, just kind of eyeball it. So put in a little of my coffee liqueur. You can always go some more. A little bit of my Irish cream. And a little bit of my chocolate vodka. Now, one thing I will advise, don't, be cognizant of the spirit you're using. The Irish cream and the coffee liqueur aren't that strong. The vodka, because it's flavored, 70 proof. But putting higher proof spirits is just going to make it real runny kind of ice cream. So, I know we want strong drinks, but don't go overboard. So, let me get this back in and churning. We're going to give this a few minutes, let it get all mixed in, let it solidify, and we'll come back to try. Alright gang, the moment we've been all waiting for, the taste test. Let's dive right in. Oh, that's delightful. That is. If I didn't know any better, I wouldn't think there's any booze in that. This is what I was hoping for. We got a little hit here. To be honest, ice cream's still a little thin, a little runny. That's the great thing about ice cream, though. You can always just throw it back in the freezer and it'll get solid on you again. We are definitely going to do some more of these videos. Next time, though, I won't talk about the machine or whatever. We'll just get straight into what we're doing. What I was just thinking about was that the great thing about making this solid into an actual ice cream that you could scoop or whatever is then you can use this other ways instead of doing, traditionally like a shake. You can do like a sundae, an ice cream sundae. Let's, freeze this, a little whipped cream, maybe some, chocolate sprinkles or nuts or something. Oh, you'd have a good time. Or something we might try down the line is maybe like, a piece of apple pie with like a Fireball infused ice cream on top. Oh my goodness. I've got plenty of ideas, but if you have any, please leave them in the suggestions down below or comments down below. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, Bottoms up.